The last thing that I want you to realize here is that so every time you jump into it with somebody, be careful of what you're doing. It's not just that you're going to win that argument. It's not just you can hold that vibration and energy, but you just need to tell them what. It's just that you're in a loop and they're drawing you back into that loop. That's the final thing I want you to realize here is that remember to all this because other people going on and doing this, they're not trying to fix the problem. They don't know what the problem is. They're so far. Think about the stuff that we were talking about today, right? And then imagine the average person. Even you show with a bit of potentially rewind it, right? So now look at the average person. Now what you see is just a direct portal of dragging you right back into the whole thing again. So you choose. This should be your mantra. When you start seeing it pop off, you should start laughing like, oh my God, they really trying to come into that. They are going to be forever ridiculous, but I'm not going to jump in. You're not letting the wound heal, if you may. You're not actually allowing, it's like,
you know what? That's not playing the way I want it to. So let's try something else. Let's try it this way. This might fare better. Okay. Let's see if this shares. And it did. Okay.
the last thing that I want you to realize here is that so every time you jump into it with somebody, be careful of what you're doing. It's not just that you can hold that vibration and energy, but you just need to tell them what. It's just that you're in a loop and they're drawing you back into that loop. That's what I want you to realize here. Remember, the reason why it works is because people are not trying to fix the problem. They don't know what the problem is. They're so far. Think about the stuff that we were talking about today, right? And then imagine the average person. Even you may have struggled with a bit of this today and need to actually rewind this and play it back again, right? So now look at the average person. Now what you see is just a direct of dragging you right back into the whole thing again. So you choose. This should be your mantra. When you start seeing it pop off, you should start laughing like, oh my goodness, they really trying to draw me into that. They're going to be here forever. This is ridiculous. But I'm not going to jump in. Just make sure that you're aware of this, because every time you jump in, this is like you're not letting the wound heal, if you may. You're not actually allowing, it's a cumulative effect, power cumulative effect. You're filling up something. It's like water being dumped into a vessel. So if every time, and now remember also, we talked about this a long time ago about, so the more power you start building up, they be trying to milk you for this power. It's almost like, but before the 30th, when you're avoiding these conflicts and confrontations, like Napoleon Hill says, he never met any successful person that got into petty confrontations. Okay? That's in The Secrets to Success. So that means that, I even find myself doing this sometimes when I leave for a message and it's like, okay, my guy, all right, here we go. And I'm giving them a good 150. And they only gives a character limit here. So it's like 150. So I'm deleting this stuff. And then I'll catch myself. Like, my guy, like, what is to become of this? What are you doing? Like, please put this thing down. And I mean, come on now. That's how you got to be on yourself. Every time they're trying to drag you in, I'm laughing about this. I'm laughing, it's bringing me to tears because, it's same thing, make you laugh, make you cry, right? So it's real talk. Right now, people are always getting triggered. And this is like, they throw the bait out there and they start reeling it in, and here you go. You're going at this. This is not even a worm. It's a, what do they call that? What did the fishermen call the thing that's not even real, right? It's just like the test, and then anyway, I know my fisherman gonna say something in the chat here in a moment, but basically the lure, the fake lure that's just plastic with all the hooks in it, with all the shiny stuff, you're not even getting the worm. You're not even getting the chum. They're not even chumming the water for you right now. They just bringing one of them cheap ass Kmart $3 lures, tackle. Yeah, so I said a tackle with the deep on the top, and here you come, big fish. And then all your power, all your energy, everything. Like, we are trying to get one turn happening here, one turn of the Nautilus to completely to dissolve this whole thing about the unclarity of the past. So what I'm telling you is that, yes, many are going to have to go through the hard knock life shadow world of getting themselves together. But I'm also presenting that there is this other way where you can just master one cycle and then apply that symbol to all your cycles to open all your doors. So basically what you do is, in this experience, you distill the experience to a key. And then once you have that key, it's going to open up all those wombs. And when you walk into them, instead of you feeling the triggered, the abuse and the fear and all the kind of things that were associated with that creation, keep walking. Keep walking through, because all of these are really the same, even though you're going to sometimes see them as different. And that's what I was saying before about that whole different code. The different code is dangerous. Now, imagine how much I had to deal with a different code. If you go to Google right now and you Google Bomar gene, you'll find out it's the gene that makes people unique. This is what they call the Bomar gene, is the gene that makes people unique. In addition, you see this ambrosia, right? Ambro is an anagram for Bomar. Okay, so I'm going to tell you, I've been seen to be coming in and out of this shit for infinity. So I'm not saying that, hey, I think this is what's going on. No, I know this is what's going on. And for once in life, I'm being boisterous about it and insisting that others, including myself, get out of this pattern. Because we've learned what we need to learn. We've healed already of what needed to be healed. We've grown up, and now it's time to shed these concepts of death. So birth must go. See, some people were upset. I felt it when I said that you weren't a baby and you needed to be a baby. They love the baby. So they're like, well, no, it's babies, the babies, and the baby. What I'm saying is, if you accept the beginning, you must accept the end. To accept the end is to accept the beginning. So you can't accept the baby. The consciousness and the concepts that you're going to keep coming into stuff vulnerable and not knowing what's going on, that code has got to be obsolete. But you can see how it works on somebody. Like, man, when you're talking about a manslaughterer, it's good to put him in the baby form again. This is what we were talking about the Titans and how the Titans got shrunk down. Like all of that power equals a lot of destruction if you don't have that power under control, or actually in control. In control versus under control, right? So the judge is under control and tries to put everything else under it with that control, versus in control is I'm the Lord of my own life. I'm the master of my own sovereignty. Somebody else coming talking that crazy stuff. Why am I going to spend juice and jazz on them? Like, what is at the highest levels? If somebody is really, really getting on your nerves, the greatest thing that you could ever do to show them that they never won was to ignore them, to where it never even ticks. It never even ticks. That's how you'll know when it doesn't even tick. You know, sometimes you may have this under control. You wasn't gonna do nothing anyway, but you'll be burning up inside. You still haven't mastered it yet. So somebody say, hey, what am I going to do? Work on that. If you still feel a reflection where somebody does something, you feel like you need to jump in and reload all the codes again, just fix that. And I'm sure you'll be great. When the whole thing, the fake death thing happens, that fast shift into doing something that is just immediately exhausting the energy or immediately bringing you into a space that does not feel comfortable for you. Why would I go in a space that didn't feel comfortable for me? Right? So this is how we master this, through the ways of seeing it clearly. If I am willing to make myself upset, that means I'm willing to send myself back into a world of abuse. And I'm willing to send myself back into a world where nothing's ever going to happen for me, really, or I'm never going to reach the top, or I'm always going to be begging, or there's always going to be an issue, or there's always going to be a problem. Do you get where I'm coming from? So if I'm willing to let somebody else right now at this stage in time say something to me that lets me turn my frequency into something that does not make me thrive and feel comfortable with who I am, then I am willing at the end of my life to come back into punishment, to despair, to fear, dishonesty, possession. I'm willing to come into all of that because that's when it happens. And that's it. So you got an easy benchmarker. You got something that's quantifiable, as they call it. Because some of this knowledge, you'd be like, man, I mean, so where are we going to find it? On the magic carpet? This is something that you can test yourself with at every single moment. Am I tripping? Am I letting them get into me? Now, there was a final question, in fact. So this question was, it was a bit more into the direction of, so when other people are around me, because I got to live with them, or it's like my significant other or whatever, and they're doing it. How do I deal with that? How do I deal with it? Okay. Are they going to hit you? Like when they're going into their thing, because here's the thing, it's going to take you time to do what you need to do anyway with yourself. When you're building and you're creating something, it's a tenure. So generally 10 years, right? So sometimes they're just placeholders. It's like, I'm gonna chill with you. But your ass got 5 more years because once I level up. So meaning that sometimes it's explainable that as long as you're not jumping into it and they're not hitting you because you're not saying anything to them and you're not jumping into this argumentative train, because after a while they go see the boss is what's going to happen. It's like after you keep not diving in, they're going to feel the divine masculine, divine feminine authority starting to come off of you. But if every time they're trying to test the metal and it's like you're jumping into it with them, then that ain't it. But I'm telling you, if you just start like numbing out on them real quick, like, ooh, I just don't have no time. And just start talking crazy and you just start walking off. This is only going to lead to one or two things. Either they're going to hit you, which you need to get out anyway, or they just go to this point where they start realizing like, yo, okay, I guess he's really serious about being different. Because see, that's the whole thing with people, right? Like they think you're the same. They think that you're always going to be the same like them. That's that point-to-point system that I was telling you about that keeps confirming this normality. They think every time they bump into you, they're bumping into the same person. I be laughing at people because they be thrown off when I come around sometimes. They be like, Is there anything new? I'm like, man, there was something new 10 minutes ago for me. Like, absolutely, there's something always changing and going on. But then I can visit some people and find that they are still the same. And hey, that's great, but that's just not how I like the thing. I don't serve my life up that way. So I'm just explaining to you very simply. You can test yourself here from the next to November 30th about how well you're able to hold your frequency stable. That's a sovereign. And then what will happen is, as you're leveling up, because this is doing something behind the scenes, the environment can't, at a certain frequency, it can't keep handling this. So either the person goes into some level of transformation themselves based on the contact that they have with you, or the environment starts not being able to hold the frequency and it morphs. That's how we change things. So you see those who have power, they sit and they focus on that power. They ain't sitting there running all around. I told you, I told you. What you do? I'll grab the firmament. You know, you'll make me do something. You're gonna make me grab. You know how much power I have? Do you know who you talk out? I'll hurl immediate. Okay. All right. You think I'm a joke. I notice how the arguments are wild, right? Because it's just like a back and forth of who can say the worst thing. Or like when you try to scare people, it's like a gorilla. You're like, you know what I mean? It's like, yo, I'm really the craziest. No, I'm the crazy. Yo, I'm about to break your shit. You see what I mean? So this is old school, right? Like we know this, we don't do this anymore, right? We don't do this anymore, right? So now you're realizing today why this is gonna be a different kind of subconscious venture for you if you keep, you know, in the testing fields are here now. I don't know, I just water it up, man. It's just hilarious, but it's so serious, like, because if it doesn't get a chance to charge, like, let's not play with it in this respect, that if you keep opening up the top like your steam and it's just not getting the opportunity to build, you can't really get to that breakthrough. And while you may think it's like after you're done, you're like, baby, we good? Yeah, I'm good, baby. I'm sorry. And this is like the 300th time. This kind of behavior, this is the loop. And you should be concerned. So, because when you sit still for a moment, you feel this eerie feeling, like I say, like, whoa, wait a minute. Something was weird. I'll keep doing this. You see what I mean? So you can slow it down for a minute. That's how you slow down time and space. And you realize, yo, this is just not another moment. This is something that keeps happening to keep me out of something bigger. Started.
And pretty much what that's breaking down is my response is no response. To give people who are actively trying to bring me down my energy, why would I do that? I think that's what they want, me to actively focus on them and not continue to work. So, you know, I'm just trying to keep my head straight, stay focused, ignore the distractions, because that's what those are. Anytime someone's attacking you for no reason, you know, nobody gets to the top by always looking back. So I feel like the people attacking me for no reason are behind me, and I shouldn't be focused on them. Going to another video with how I deal with situations like this.
of
with the lighters up, third eye be.
got my workers working overtime today. Like let's pee on them, huh? They gonna be working today because we talking about inner chi. We talking about stuff that comes from within, inner chi, inner chi. What is chi? What is chi? Let me shout out the first nine that's on this feed first and foremost. You know what I'm saying? Because we got a whole new first nine now. So let me shout them out. Not playing no games. No games. Let's start with us. Who made the you know what I'm saying? They're like you already know your brother gonna give you the work regardless. You know what I'm saying? Run it back. Shout out to Ashley McKinney. You know what I'm saying? Kenneth Patterson, my manager. That's right. You know what I'm saying? Wherever you at, whether you at home, you know what I'm saying? Let's talk about chi. Chi. You know what I'm saying? But we talk about aiding life force, whose existence and properties are the basis of Chinese philosophy and medicine. Okay, this is what they tell you, right? And it deals with literally air or breath. Okay, but what you want to understand about chi is that it started with your ancestors first. We already had chi. Okay, martial arts. We have been doing it for years, centuries, right? Eons. We was dealing with martial arts and how to defend yourself, so on and so forth. You understand? So this is nothing new to us. Okay, we were the first ones on the planet to outlast all the different things that could possibly use. So we knew how to defend ourselves. And there was power, a life force that's inside of us, right? That holds us down, that we need to take a grasp of. So we created methods on how to utilize this power and how to release this power. So when we talk about energy in American culture, we call it energy, but it's really energy. It's your breath, right? There's a method that they use. It's called bone breathing, right? Every part of your body, you need to understand, every part of who you are breathes. It needs air. Every single part breathes. So there's a technique called bone breathing. Look it up. And it teaches you how to breathe with every element, every piece of your body. And it's a martial arts technique, right? And the reason why we're able to breathe in every part and every aspect of our body, because inner chi is not some separate force. It's not just some force that we don't know what it is or can grasp or put science to it. It's actually our Kundalini or Wajet energy. It's Kundalini energy. Okay. And when this Kundalini energy or Wajet, when the Wajet inner chi combines with our breath or our air, that's how you create what we call chi. Okay? Chi is the energy that flows through the body by the act of breathing, and it lends life to it. This is why when we meditate, we breathe in slowly and breathe out slowly. You see? Because it's a breathing technique that activates this energy that we're seeking to release. You understand? It's that energy that we use as the driving force when we're trying to strike something or strike someone or anything. Okay? See, when we put a physical body behind that energy, now that physical body becomes a strengthening force. It becomes strong not because of the body. This is what you got to understand. It's the chi that's in front of the body that is ushering in the body that makes it strong. We're utilizing it in a forceful way, such as martial arts. There's a particular form of martial arts. It's called jujitsu. And in jujitsu, you'll notice that they keep their hands open as their stance in jujitsu. And the reason why they're doing that is because they're preparing themselves for the energy that is coming their way, as opposed to always looking to strike someone, right? They're preparing themselves for the energy that is coming their way. Why? Because the energy that is coming your way, that someone is trying to throw at you, that negative energy, right, is just as useful as the own energy that you can produce for yourself. You see, we're always looking to formulate superpowers from ourselves, not realizing that the entire universe is the power, and we need to utilize the entire universe to our advantage. That is what jujitsu is all about. It's learning how, when you're on the ground and someone is running at you, to take that energy and utilize it to thrust them over your head and make them land on their back. You see, this is how somebody who's smaller, such as Bruce Lee, could take on someone like a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and win the fight. You see, he'll take that energy, which is clearly taller, larger, stronger, right? And could be even faster, right? He could take that energy and utilize it. In this case, he happened to be faster than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, but he used that speed that he had to gain momentum to get him to the ground to win the fight. Now, this is a movie, of course, but this actually pertains to real life. There's an art form that utilizes this, you see? And this is what you can utilize in life every single day. You see, it's essentially taking potential energy and changing it into kinetic energy. You see, when someone is throwing some energy your way, instead of thinking that you should go back and forth with this person, right? All you're doing when you go back and forth is you're taking the kinetic energy that they're giving you and you're turning it into potential energy, and you're just being still. So that's the equivalent of you being at the top of the mountain where there's no energy there. You see, when someone is throwing the energy your way, you want to transform that energy and ride that wave. You see, the secular world, they know that promotion, any promotion, good or bad, is promotion. You understand? So no matter what.
And yeah, that's why I don't respond. You know what I'm saying? I'm just I'm going to take all that negative energy, repackage it, wrap it up, send it back out in the universe in a positive way. You know what I'm saying? And everybody has the ability to do that. You know, you don't have to match people's energy. All that does is lower your frequency. So, you know, when people are sending shots at me, you know, I'll eat that. I'll take that. I'm going to take that negative energy, repackage it up, put a bow on it, and send it back out into the universe as something positive. You know, a simple way that we see people do this is, you know, when people are upset, they'll go lift weights or work out. You can take the negative and transmute that energy. So yeah, let me go ahead and let this finish.
Mimicking chi. They're mimicking chi. When he says that Ayukin, right? And he's throwing that energy, that's what they're talking about. They're taking the energy, they ball it up, right? It's an inner energy that they're taking from the air and using that energy to throw it out, to thrust it out, to gain power. It's just like a punch. You see? It's the same thing. And your body, being the Ankh or the life force, right, has the ability to take that energy and use it how you see fit. But the key part about this is that this energy can be released from any part of your body, any one of the Wajitek, any one of your chakras. You can release this energy or this life force, this chi, out of it. So whether it be sexual energy into your partner, right, whether it be your gut feeling or your intuition, whether it be your third eye, your mind, your crown chakra to manifest things, you can utilize this inner chi that someone throws at you, right? And thrust it back into the universe on top of what you can do in a more powerful way. You see, and what most people, the weapon of choice, I should say, for all beings today, the weapon of choice or the Wajatet of choice for releasing this energy is the throat chakra. Everybody got something to say today. You see, the internet has become the body of the throat chakra. You see, so now you can take your throat chakra and utilize it in such a way where you can talk about someone, right? Or talk to someone, whether it be a sublim, right? Or control the universe however you see fit. Before, you used to have to yell and scream at this individual to try to get them to understand what's going on. Now, they've used the internet to harness inner chi. You see? So now everybody's, I gotta type, I gotta get at this. You know, this is what we're doing now. You see what I'm saying? But you got to realize with this energy, it's like a catapult. It's like a catapult. It's like a slingshot. You see, the energy that is used against you, you can take it, pull it back, and you'll have that much greater force. So you don't take that much energy when you're pulling back the slingshot. It don't take that much energy when you're pulling back the catapult. But guess what? Once you let it go, that bad boy, it's going to hurt somebody. It's going to hurt somebody. So what does that mean? That means when somebody's coming at you, right? And they got you feeling a certain type of way, whatever it is, you can take that energy and realize that there's a rhythm to it. You see, if you've ever seen martial arts, if you've ever watched them go, they move and they practice their rhythm. Right? They practice their flow, right? And they're breathing at the same time, right? They're always doing that. Why? Because that rhythm, that flow is crucial to harnessing the energy. So when someone is throwing things at you, right? Or whether it be insults, right? Or it could be good energy too. In this case, we're talking about negative energy. If they're throwing whatever energy that you're using, right? Realize that going back and forth, it kills the energy. It stops the energy, right? At its tracks. But it doesn't serve you by going back and forth. When someone goes at you, your silence slips in to the rhythm. Wait a minute now. See, you talking to a drummer. You're talking to somebody that's played the drums for 30 some odd years. Let me give you game. If we're going boom, 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 there's a separate dimension in there, family. There's a separate dimension in there. When you're going boom, 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 there's a dimension of silence going boom, boom, boom. Silence. The is the silence. So it's boom, boom, boom. It's in between. Aha. Aha. When you harness that silence energy, you see, silence becomes loud. Oh, what did he say? I said silence becomes loud. See, so you wait, you catch the rhythm. Boom. Somebody's always coming at you. Boom. Let them keep talking. Boom, boom. Stay silent. Boom, boom. Catch the rhythm first before you respond. Let them throw all of that out. Jiu-jitsu. Let them say, come on then. Come on. Give me all you got. Give me all you got. Huh? I want all the curses. What is that? I want all the curses. Give me all you got. Because eventually, as a wise being, one who is informed and enlightened, when I do speak, I speak loudly in silence because what I'm saying, the things that I'm saying, first and foremost, is going to be based on truth, right? Rather than feeling I need to respond because you said something. I'm going to say something based on what needs to be said because I have something to say. You understand? Wise souls speak loudly in silence. There's a rhythm, there's a technique to this, to utilizing negative energy, negative inner chi to your favor. You see, too many of us are taking our negative inner chi and we're wasting it. You see, Christianity and religion teaches you, right? All these different gods, that when somebody, comes at you, right? That you got to sit down, you got to talk to this person, and you got to entertain all of this negative energy. No, you don't have to. It's duality. You can take that energy and store it and use it however you see fit. See, when you realize that you are the deity, you are the God of this energy, you can take it and use it however you see fit. There's no rules here when it comes to balances. The only law is that eventually it has to balance out. You see? It has to balance out. So the more negative impulses that they give you, the more power you have. You see? When you respond to every little thing that they say, you're losing your power. You're just giving little, you giving jabs. You just giving jabs. You see? You got to learn how to hold one of them punches back. There's a reason why the jab is out here all the time. Because this one here, this one here, when it comes through, you can't do nothing with it. You see? You got to keep one back. You can't be like this. There's a reason why you got to balance it out and keep one here. They say, in boxing, they say, make sure you stay on the phone. That's what they say. Stay on the phone. Because this is your protection for when you throwing out the jab and somebody coming at you. This is your protection. Right? When you throw out your jab, keep the shoulder up so you don't get hit here over the top. And make sure you keep this one here so we still blocking at the same time we throwing. You see? You can't be, you done. You done. Somebody gonna slip up.
Yeah, and so that's why, excuse me, typically the small petty back and forth, you won't see me entertaining. You won't see me wasting my energy with these insignificant back and forth with people because they have a problem. When I speak, though, it'll be because I have something to say, not because somebody just said something stupid to me or about me. I know I'm above that. My skin isn't that thin.
Right? Somebody gonna slip on the top. While you no, man. Keep your form. Keep your form. All this person sees is a punch. He don't even know where to throw. All he sees is a punch. He see a fist. You see? Keep your inner chi stored. So when it's time for you to speak in that rhythm, boom, boom, everybody gonna hear that silence. You ever hear a song and it's going boom, 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 and the rapper doing this thing, saying what he's saying, right? Then all of a sudden everything stop. And then he go back in. That pause right there is everything. We all be waiting. We be, right? Remember back in the day when MC Hammer used to rap? You know what I'm saying? I'm dating myself right now. Remember MC Hammer? He used to go, stop. Hammer time. Everybody loved that part. Why? Because there was a rhythm in the silence. Stop. That's what made the whole song. You know what I'm saying? My music. They go, they got their baggy pants on, everything. And then he go, stop. And everybody in the club goes, stop. Hammer time. We get crazy, right? We get crazy on that part. Why? Because he learned how to utilize the silence. That was like one of the first times that you've seen in hip hop somebody utilize that silence so crazy. It was ill. It was perfect. You see? He had drawn up so much momentum up to that point that we already had the rhythm, right? We all doing our thing. We had the rhythm. So when he said stop, it was like, oh, there's a pause in there. And we all knew when to pause. It hit like a punch. You see? We got to learn how to do that. You ain't got to respond to every damn thing, family. Especially in the African American culture. Every time we see something on the news, every time we see something going down, we feel we got to have a voice or opinion on it. We ain't got to have a voice and opinion on everything. Stir it up. Stir up some of that energy so when you do speak, it has impact. Huh? When you release that inner chi, whatever enemy that you face go flying. It goes flying because they done put so much momentum into throwing a punch at you that missed because you was in your form ready. They done put so much into it. They didn't even see the move coming. They say the knockout punch is the one that you didn't see. That's what they say in boxing. The knockout punch is always the punch that you didn't see coming. You see? So some of y'all got to learn how to be ready. We have to learn how to stay in our form, right? Regardless of what punches or blows are being thrown at us. You got to stay in your stance. You got to stay in your form because the silence has a rhythm to it. And the silence is just as powerful as the words. You see? You have to balance things out. No matter what energy is going out, it has its equal and opposite energy ready and willing to take over when need fit. Right? This is why we dealt with, these complementary energies, because in order to keep the momentum going, we have to know which energy is complementary to that energy. So when somebody's saying something to you of a negative vibe, you can also use neutral energy to move you into a positive field, into a positive playing ground, taking the neutral route. You don't always got to be left or right. Neutral is actually the heaven point. It's balance. You see, that's ma'at. This is what we talk about when we say, that's why we say live your life in ma'at, because then when you go left or right, you're making a just decision. You know what I'm saying? You're doing it the right way. Let's put it this way. When you deal with a Sar and a Set, right? Guess what? A Sar had, in order for a Set to be who she was, a Sar had to be dismembered. In order for her to remember him, he had to be first dismembered. So she had to deal with the negative impact of the situation in order for her to become the glorious being that she was, as the one who remembers Asar. You see, all of these energies have a consort. They have some sort of other complementary energy that balances them out. They know this. You're the one who hasn't picked up on it. You see, there's some energies when you take the neutral route and you don't buy into it because both of the energies are dangerous to you, it totally negates the whole situation. This is why they gave you Jesus and the devil. You see, they giving you two forms of energy. Which one you gonna buy into? No, you can't have both. What they say? You can't serve two masters. That's what they told you, right? That's what they told you. In African spirituality, you're not serving anybody. You're the one that's administering and creating this energy. You see? So when we tell you there's no Jesus and no devil, that eliminates this whole situation. Now you're not walking around depressed thinking you sinning all day and in sin, right? You in the right frame of mind. Oh, we have a lot to learn. But that's all right. Y'all in the right house. Y'all in the right house. Everything, every concept that we have about energy, as above, so below, it's equal and opposite. So you need to learn how to utilize that in your favor. Learn how to be prepared for it. Receive the energy. You know what? I'm to the point now, I'm sure you can tell, I welcome the energy. I'm sorry, what's that what you said? I'm sorry, what's that what you said? Cool. You know, that's how I move now. What's that? What you said? I ain't bad. You know what I'm saying? One of the biggest things that you can do, and let me tell you, those of y'all who going through situations, body. If you have been putting energy into any person, place, or thing, and that energy is no longer serving you, one of the greatest powers that you have is to do one of these. Woo! Do one of those. Huh?
And you know what? I noticed that this is hard for a lot of people to do. It's hard for a lot of people to just get up and walk away. Ego wants to stay and argue. Ego wants to prove a point. Ego wants revenge. Um, and I just really don't have an ego about this. So when I hear people hating on me or sneak dissing or like, I really don't care. I don't want to take time away from my work to focus on that. I don't want to take time away from what I'm building for the community to go sit down and watch what somebody had to say about me. It just doesn't interest me. My ego isn't pulling me to it, saying you have to listen, you have to respond. I, don't care. And usually when the stuff comes, I stop it right there. So a lot of times I don't even know what's been said because I just don't care. I feel like it's a waste of time. It's slowing me down. That's what my haters want me to do. They want me to stop working and focus on them. And so it's just like, why would I ever do that? Let's keep it moving. Where was I at? My apologies. Oh yeah, negative energy.
Instead of continuing to put energy in that is canceling out and not serving you and turning into just potential still energy, it has a lot of potential, but it ain't really going nowhere. It's just potential. Do one of those where you just disappear. You stay silent. You see? When you got somebody screaming in your face all the time, stay silent, bro. And watch how much power you have in the situation, because you're not allowing them to control your emotions. You're not allowing them to control your words and your next statements. Huh? Watch how frustrating it gets for them because you won't respond to the BS.
And that's facts. And I'm not sure if you've ever heard the saying, he who is easily triggered is easily controlled. I don't feel the need to always react every time somebody tries to give me something to react to. Usually it's chess. And when I see somebody put a piece on the board in a goofy position, I have to look around and say, is this bait? A lot of people just have to think, think instead of being so reactive. That's what we need to do as a community, Black people, period. We're so reactive, Let's go.
Huh? Watch how much power you have then. You're powerless when you're going back and forth. You have no power. You've already canceled out your power. And it's like a wall. You see? Watch how much power you have when you go MIA on that ass. Huh? When you just dip. Huh? Like I do. Block, right? Just erase yourself from the situation. Because if you've been serving this situation, best believe your absence is definitely going to be noticed. Huh? It's going to be noticed. Because now that's the equivalent of this. That's the equivalent of this. You see? I was standing in front of you while you was running at me, but I dropped to the floor and I'm not where I was prior when you was throwing your punch. So now I'm on the ground. You're not expecting it. So now I got you flying 20 feet behind me, fam. You understand? Because I'm not there no more. So you just wasting your breath and your energy. You just became my slave. You see? You're a slave to me now. So now you're going to spend your...
And we've all heard the saying, I live rent-free in these people's head. Yeah, they've become your slaves. Literally, so.
life on Facebook waiting for me. They talking about me. They talking about me. You're going to be calling. What he say? He's talking about me. You're my slave. You're my slave now. You see? Because you threw your blow, but I...
And that's facts. That's funny because that's why I titled this A1 Responds, put a name on it. Because I wanted to make everybody who read it their mouth, I just made them my slave. They've been waiting on this episode forever. But I'm not about to respond. I don't even know who, I've heard a couple names, but I didn't even look into the information to see what was said. Because I wasn't going to take time away from what I'm actually building to focus on somebody who's trying to destroy something. I try to use my energy very wisely. And I know I only have so much energy for the day. So I want to put it into things that are positive, that are beneficial to myself and the people around me. I'd rather focus on my team than any of that.
Wasn't there. So now you just out here looking like, where the hell this fool go? I was watching Floyd Mayweather fight somebody. And the dude threw the punch. I think it was Hatton. And he threw the punch. I said, Floyd, this is when I started watching Floyd. And I said, if he beat this guy, I'm not going to sleep on him ever again. And this guy, who was my favorite fighter at the time, had threw a punch at Floyd Mayweather, and they showed the punch in slow motion. You ever seen when in boxing when they throw the punch in slow motion? And this dude, who was my favorite fighter at the time, had threw the punch, and they showed it in slow motion, and the punch was coming like this, and you just look at Floyd, and Floyd was looking at it like this. It was almost like the Matrix. The punch was coming, and Floyd was just looking at it like this. Right? And then you see Floyd, while the punch is still going, Floyd turned around like this and was like, and the dude, he hit the dude so crazy that the dude just flew. He flew behind. Actually, the way he threw it, it was like this kind of. He hooked him on the side. So the dude just went and hit the turnbuckle and fell on the ground. It was the craziest slow motion fight I've ever seen because he used the dude's momentum that was coming and let him go that way. So when he knocked him out, usually when you knock somebody out, they go back that way. No, Floyd dipped on the fool like this and said, boop, and the dude just hit the turnbuckle and landed behind Floyd. Huh? Jiu-jitsu. He like, I'm here now. Now you see me. Now you don't. And the dude just took and fell. After that, I was a Floyd fan. I don't care what he got to say. If he bought his money, whatever. I don't care. His art of boxing is top notch. You see? And that's how you got to be. You got to be to a level where no matter what anybody throws at you, it don't mean nothing. And you could just move out of the way. For some of us, we might have to drop down low. So some of us, we might have to go to the right. Some of us, we might have to go to the left. For some of us, we just might have to be quiet. And for some of us, we might have to take the punch and just show how strong we are. Yeah, nobody don't want to do that. Let them talk. Let them talk crazy. Talk whatever. Talk however crazy they want. Take the blow. Take the blow. Eat the punch, as we say. Eat it. Because then folks going to look back and be like, yo, she just ate that punch like, he just ate that punch like that, just ate it. Dang, that person's strong. Let me see what that person is about because they didn't respond. There's something that punch didn't even affect them. see what they about. You see? That's how that works. So we got to understand that negative energy is still energy. It's Wajatet energy that we can use in our favor. Get into the rhythm. Utilize your silence effectively so that when you do speak, when everything is silent, your words have more power. Your deeds have more power, right? Your actions speak way more loudly, even than your words. With that being said, family, with that being said, if this video did anything for you,
Yes, get into your rhythm. Learn how to use your silence. Why so speak loudly in silence. So yeah, no response out of me as of yet. And when I do decide to speak about something, it'll be because truth matters. But as of yet, I'm focused, got my head straight, eye on the prize, tunnel vision to the paper. And we're going to continue to keep putting out amazing content, informative content. That's my job. I have one job and that's it. It's not to pay attention to the people trying to bring me down and spiritually attack me through social media devices and stuff like that. I won't be feeding into any of that. You're going to see me eat those punches, and people will eventually come to see what makes me so strong. So salute to everybody who tuned in. If you thought it was about to be a bunch of drama, riffraff, me tearing down other people, you should already know by now that's not what this platform is for, and that's not what it's ever going to be used for. With that being said, everybody have a great day. And if you missed this episode, go check it back out from the beginning because it's a lot of wisdom in this one. Peace.